My name is Lila Monroe, 27 years old. Tuesday had that soft, ordinary glow that makes you believe in small luck. Coffee warm, inbox tame, a rosemary candle flickering by the window while I adjusted color swatches for a client's hallway. The apartment looked like I'd ironed the air, throw blanket tucked, fern watered, the good mugs out. If a camera were here, it would find me barefoot at my desk, pencil behind my ear, listening to the building breathe. My phone buzzed. A harmless sound. A notification banner slid onto the screen like a shrug. Ryan posted a photo. We'd been at his cousin's wedding 3 nights ago. String lights like constellations, cheap champagne, someone's uncle crying during At Last. In the photo, I'm in emerald silk. He's in a navy suit I steamed while he showered. I'd adjusted his cufflinks, told him he looked like a promise he could keep. I tapped. The picture loaded. He'd chosen the angle where he looks taller. His jaw is set, chin tilted, my hand on his chest, my grandmother's bracelet catching a bead of light. We look, God, happy. The kind of happy you exhale into. The caption was a thin smile with teeth behind it. Still can't believe she said yes. Guess I really am dating up. Blessed, how did it get so? Lucky, shooting my shot. For a second, I didn't understand. My brain snagged on the lace of it. Dating up, like a joke tossed to the crowd so he didn't have to own it. Then, as comments trickled in, she's way out of your league, bro. Teach us your ways. A row of laughing faces from Darren. The lace ripped. My thumb hovered. If I scrolled, I knew I'd find more. Winks, elbow nudges disguised as words. I scrolled anyway. Chloe, yes, that Chloe, the ex who swore she wanted only friendship now, commented first. Knew you could land her level up, King. She'd posted it 1 minute after he did. Too quick, as if she'd been waiting. I should tell you some things before I tell you the rest. 2 years with Ryan. In those 2 years, I paid down $8,700 of his credit card debt because the late fees made him nauseous, and it's just until the projects pay out, babe. I helped him move 3 times. Twice because of roommates he called toxic, once because he needed a change of energy. I drove him to work for 4 months when his car died, and he said the bus made him dizzy. I listened. Through job loss, through content creator pivots and networking nights that looked a lot like hanging out with Darren at a bar that did 2-for-1 tequila. I'm telling you this so you understand how a caption is not a caption. A caption is a verdict with a filter on it. My hand was steady when I went back to the photo. The screen reflected my face the way glass does. Flat, composed, a woman deciding something. I read the caption again. He was proud. He thought humiliation would read as humility. He'd served me up like a punchline he could ride into applause. The candle hissed. Somewhere outside, a delivery truck exhaled. Time thinned. I didn't call him. I didn't text. I pressed the tiny heart so it turned red. Then I typed, "You're right. I'm upgrading too. I'm packing your things. It's over." I posted the comment and watched it settle under the chorus like a stone in a shallow river. A clear thunk. The algorithm liked it. So did his cousin, by accident. So did Chloe, before she realized what she was liking. The first vibration came at 2:41 p.m. Ryan, declined. 2:42, Ryan again, declined. 2:43, a text. Babe, call me. It's a joke. 2:44, another. Everyone does this. 2:45, you're overreacting. I stood up, pulled the boxes from the hall closet, the ones I'd labeled winter, and things that can wait when we were optimistic. Packing tape squealed like a warning as I smoothed it along the seams. I opened the bedroom closet. His shirts breathed out cologne and old nights. I packed methodically. The navy suit first, shoulders cupped, folded along the spine. The sneakers he swore would make him run again. His ring light, which loved him more than sleep did. The lucky hat that never paid rent. The chargers, because leaving someone without a charger feels like vengeance, and I wasn't interested in that kind of small. My phone vibrated against the dresser, a trapped fly. 2:51. Ryan's mom. Call me. This is dramatic. 2:52. Darren. Yo, he didn't mean it like that. 2:53. Chloe. Private message request. Lila, he's spiraling. It was just a caption. Don't ruin something good over a misunderstanding. I could hear her voice even in text, sweet at the edges, sugar that cuts. She'd typed spiraling like it was mine to steady. I set the phone face down. I wrapped the small things in tissue. The tie clip I bought when he landed that 3-month contract, the mug that says genius at work. He'd never once filled with coffee before noon. The apartment grew a corridor of boxes along the entryway, 9, then 10, then 11. Each one a square breath. Each one a sentence at the end of a paragraph I was done reading. I paused at the bookshelf. There was a Polaroid we took in the grocery store aisle with the ridiculous cheeses. We'd been arguing about brie versus cheddar, laughing so hard an old woman told us to get married already. My face in that photo looks like believing. I slid the photo into the side pocket of his duffel bag, not to be kind, to be accurate. We were that once, briefly, before the performance swallowed the person. 2:56 p.m., 17 missed calls. A last text from Ryan. Baby, please, delete that comment. You're making me look bad. I actually laughed, a short sound that didn't make it to my throat. The fern on the windowsill had a yellowing leaf bending toward the glass. I pinched it off gently and carried it to the trash, the dead leaf small and soft as a confession. I washed my hands. Water, soap, rinse, shake. Rituals matter when you're closing a door. At 3:10, I printed a 30-day notice, month to month, lease in my name. I'd looked up the law while the boxes swallowed his things. Preparation is love redirected, steady hands doing what shaking ones won't. By 4:15, the apartment had changed temperature. More space in the air, fewer echoes. My comment under his post had gathered a mess of replies, some cheering, some calling me cold. Someone wrote, "Imagine letting a man humiliate you and calling it humor." Someone else, "Y'all are sensitive. It was a compliment." The internet debates everything except how it feels to be human. I took one last walk through the rooms the way you do in a hotel you're leaving, checking the bathroom, the drawers, his toothbrush. I placed it on top of the final box like a flag. When my phone buzzed again, it was his sister, May, who never texts me during daylight. "Are you okay?" she wrote. "He's a moron when he wants laughs." "I'm fine," I typed back. Then, before I could edit myself into niceness, "Did Chloe know he was posting?" She commented in under a minute, a pause. Those 3 dots blooming, dying, blooming. She helped write it, May sent. Said it would play. Something inside me, the last hinge maybe, clicked shut. Not surprise. Confirmation. Foreshadowing becoming memory. At 4:45, everything of his stood by the door in a neat skyline of cardboard. The light shifted peach along the floorboards. I opened the door, felt the hallway's cooler air slide over my skin, and set the boxes in a row across the threshold, a procession of endings. I picked up my phone, opened the photo one more time, and looked at the woman in emerald silk who once thought a caption couldn't bruise. I liked her. I like her more now. He wanted attention. Fine. Let there be a show. I locked the deadbolt, whispered to the room, "Everyone doesn't date me," and turned off the rosemary candle with a soft puff that felt exactly like a curtain falling. By 5:23, the elevator whined. The footsteps in the hall were unmistakable, fast, uneven, a rhythm of panic dressed as apology. Then the knock. 3 sharp hits. Then his voice, muffled but trembling just enough to almost pass for remorse. "Lila, baby, please, we need to talk." I didn't rush. I let him knock again, then opened the door just wide enough for air and consequence. Ryan stood there in his work shirt, untucked and wrinkled, eyes wide, skin slick from rain or sweat or both. Behind him, the boxes waited like witnesses. He blinked at them, then at me. What is this?" "Your things," I said. The caption had consequences. He stepped forward, I stepped back. "Come on, Lila, it was a joke. Everyone knew I didn't mean it that way. It's internet humor." "Everyone, including Chloe?" That hit. His lips parted, but nothing came out. Then softer. "Why would you even bring her up?" "She commented before the post hit 5 likes, I said. You're bad at pretending spontaneity." He looked at the boxes again, as if they might explain me. "You're seriously doing this over a caption?" I crossed my arms. "No, over the story you told about us to strangers." He raked his hair back, pacing like a man rehearsing regret but not feeling it. "Okay, maybe I went too far, but you could have just texted me. You didn't have to humiliate me online." I let out a dry laugh. I matched your energy. You taught me that. The elevator doors pinged open again, and suddenly there she was, Chloe, umbrella in hand, eyes already glossy, like she'd practiced concern in the mirror. Oh, thank God, she said to him, ignoring me. You need to explain, Ryan, before she ruins your reputation completely. I tilted my head. My reputation seems intact. His, however, well, public jokes come with public punchlines. Chloe's voice was sugar over a blade. Lila, don't twist this. He was just being playful. You know how sarcasm works, right? I took a step closer, calm as winter. I do. That's why I know when it's used to hide cruelty. Ryan rubbed his temples. Can you both stop? Chloe, go wait in the car. No, she said, straightening her trench coat. You need someone rational here. Then maybe I should call Darren, I said, since he seems fluent in your humor. Ryan sighed, exasperated, glancing at Chloe as if she were a witness he didn't summon. Lila, please, let's just talk inside. No, you don't live here anymore. I gestured to the lease papers on the entry table, printed, signed, stapled. Month to month, only my name. Legally, this is my home. He stared as if the word legally had never applied to him before. You printed it? I did, around the same time you were busy reading comment sections. The silence stretched. The building hummed. Chloe shifted uncomfortably, her perfume too sweet for the rain. He tried again, softer this time. I just wanted to make people laugh. Everyone online is so serious, and then maybe date the audience next time. His jaw tightened. You're really ending this? I'm just making it official. For a moment, I saw him try to calculate charm, shoulders relaxing, voice dipping into that low register he used when he wanted forgiveness. Lila, come on. We've been through so much. Remember last winter? I didn't even have a job, and you still believed in me. You said we were a team. I did, I said, and my voice didn't break. But a team doesn't throw their partner under a spotlight for laughs. The elevator dinged again. Someone from downstairs delivering mail, peeking awkwardly at the scene before retreating. The moment looked theatrical from the outside, I knew. The beautiful woman, calm and still. The soaked man, pleading under fluorescent light. The ex with folded arms waiting for her cue. I wanted to freeze it, frame it, send it to every version of myself who once mistook chaos for passion. Chloe rolled her eyes. This is insane. It was just a caption, not a crime. I turned to her. It's not about the caption. It's about the silence before he posted it, when he could have thought, will this hurt her? But he didn't, because he wanted applause more than respect. Ryan flinched. Stop making it sound like I planned this. Then you're admitting you didn't think at all. That's worse. Rain had started whispering against the hallway windows. Chloe shifted, muttering, You're being dramatic. Drama, I said, is when people pretend the consequences weren't deserved. I bent, lifted the top box, labeled Clothes/Miss K, and set it in Ryan's arms. You can take this one first. He didn't move. You can't just kick me out. We built a life here. You built a performance, I said. I just provided the stage. Chloe's phone buzzed. She looked at the screen, smirked faintly, then tucked it away. Something in her expression said this wasn't over. Not for her, at least. I caught it, stored it. Foreshadowing, if life were a script. Ryan's breathing hitched as he stared down at the box. You're going to regret this, Lila. I met his eyes. Regret is your department. You've been curating it for years. He opened his mouth to speak, but nothing formed. Only rain behind him, only quiet in me. He walked out finally, box against his chest like a shield. Chloe followed, her heels clicking in rhythm to his defeat. When the elevator doors closed, I saw her glance at me through the narrow slit just before it sealed. Something calculating there, almost satisfied. I shut the door, locked it, and leaned my forehead against the wood. Outside, the hallway swallowed their voices. Inside, the air steadied. On the counter, my phone buzzed again. A new message from May. You okay? He's furious, but Chloe's enjoying it. Be careful. She wants something out of this. I typed back, attention, probably. I'm done supplying it. I looked at the empty side of the closet, at the indentation his shoes had left on the mat. The silence wasn't lonely. It was clean. The clock ticked from 6:01 to 6:02. Somewhere down the hall, the elevator groaned again, metal sighing. I whispered into the stillness. For someone dating up, you sure fell fast. Then I turned off the hall light and let the darkness rest where his noise used to live. The next morning arrived too bright, too ordinary for what had happened. The city outside my window was doing its usual performance, garbage truck clatter, coffee smell from downstairs, a neighbor humming off key, but everything in my apartment had shifted frequency. Even silence sounded wider. My phone lit up again, and the screen became a stage I didn't ask for. Ryan's story. A black background, a sad song, and text in white. When you give everything and still get left. Some people just don't know loyalty. Then a photo of his packed boxes by my door. Caption, some folks throw away good love for internet validation. I almost laughed. Internet validation. Coming from the man who started this entire mess for likes. Within minutes, messages started arriving. Some friends defending me, others politely neutral, a few trying to play mediator. You guys were perfect, don't end over social media. But I'd already ended it. I wasn't going to argue my truth in the comments section. Still, it hurt, watching the narrative mutate in public, strangers forming opinions based on edited heartbreak. At noon, my phone rang again. Lila, it's Patricia, Ryan's mother. Sweet voice, polished tone, the kind that thinks guilt can be gift-wrapped. I just wanted to check on you. Ryan's been a wreck. He says you overreacted. Honey, I'm sure he didn't mean to embarrass you. He didn't mean it, I repeated softly, but he did it anyway. Well, social media is tricky these days. You young people joke differently. Respect isn't generational, Patricia. Silence. Then a chilly, I see. She hung up without goodbye. I set my phone down and took a deep breath. The rosemary candle was half burned from yesterday. I lit it again, not for memory, but for closure. Later, my friend Maya came over with takeout and her favorite advice. Ignore him. Let the internet eat him alive. I told her I wasn't planning on responding, but then she showed me what was happening online. Screenshots of his post were circulating. Some users had found his old photos, one of his ex, captioned, "She was too sensitive for my jokes." Another of him at a bar, tagging Chloe with a winking emoji while we were still together. The pattern was writing itself. I didn't need to say a word. Still, that night, I opened my Instagram app. I uploaded one simple photo, a clean, sunlit apartment. My desk, the candle, the fern, alive again. Caption, amazing how peaceful life gets when you stop apologizing for expecting respect. No tags, no shade, no hashtags, just peace. And yet, within an hour, it had thousands of likes. Comments poured in from women I didn't know. This hit deep. Protect your peace, girl. We've all been there. I didn't want to trend, but for once I wasn't the punchline. That night, May called again. He's losing it, she whispered. Chloe's trying to calm him down, but they're fighting too. Something about her leaking your comment to a gossip page. Of course she did, I said. She's addicted to chaos. May hesitated. Can I tell you something? He's done this before. His last girlfriend. He posted about her too. Said she was crazy for taking posts seriously. It wrecked her. The air in my apartment thickened. So it's a pattern. Yeah, he gets a thrill out of making people defend him. I closed my eyes. Of course he does. Later that week, the story flipped again. Someone dug up screenshots of Ryan's original caption and my reply. The internet decided to play judge. He humiliated her first. She was right to leave. Men like this call disrespect humor. Suddenly, I wasn't overreacting. I was a cautionary tale that half the world was quoting. Ryan posted a note to his followers. Social media doesn't define love. Stop attacking me. But Chloe commented a heart emoji, then deleted it, then re-added it. Patricia posted a long paragraph on Facebook about how women should forgive good men. I didn't reply, but my aunt, God bless her, wrote underneath. Good men don't need their mothers to defend them online. That one made me smile. By week's end, my phone was quieter. I muted his name, his sister's name, Chloe's too. But the calm didn't last. Sunday afternoon, a knock at the door. Not Ryan. A courier. Envelope, no return address. Inside, Ryan's watch, the one I gave him for his birthday, and a note in his handwriting. If you want closure, talk to me. Don't hide behind posts. The watch's glass was cracked. I stared at it for a long time, the way you look at something once valuable, now broken by its owner. I put it in a drawer. Closure doesn't come in the mail. That night, I dreamed of the wedding again. The lights, the laughter, the part where he whispered, I want everyone to see how lucky I am. And I remember thinking, then why do you keep testing it? The next morning, the dream followed me like perfume that won't fade. As I made coffee, my phone buzzed again. May. He's not doing well, she said. Lost a client. Chloe blocked him. He keeps saying you ruined his life. I stirred my cup slowly. I didn't ruin it. I just stopped protecting him from himself. She sighed. He's talking about making some kind of grand apology, like public. Just a heads up. I smiled faintly. Then I guess we're both giving the internet a show. When I hung up, I looked at the cracked watch on the counter. It ticked faintly. Still alive, still counting. And I whispered to it, when someone shows the world your worth as a joke, don't argue. Just let the world watch when you stop laughing. 3 months later, the world had moved on. At least the part that belonged to everyone else. Ryan's apology post had faded from timelines. Chloe's cryptic quotes stopped getting likes. The comments that once burned now gathered dust beneath newer dramas. But peace has a different sound. It doesn't trend. My mornings were quieter now. Emails, plants, the click of my pen against paper as I planned designs for clients who trusted my eye and didn't question my worth. There were moments I almost forgot the chaos entirely. Until one morning, my phone lit up again. Ryan tagged you in a post. For a second, I thought it was spam. Then I tapped. It was our photo, the wedding picture, again. His caption read, "Throwback to when I didn't appreciate what I had. Growth means owning your mistakes. I'm sorry, at Lila Monroe." The comments flooded in. "This is mature. She should forgive you." Redemption arc? I didn't reply. Didn't untag myself either. I wanted it to sit there, silent, like a mirror he'd be forced to look into. Within minutes, messages came rolling in. My friends, my mother, even my old boss from the interior firm. "You saw his post? Are you two talking again?" Maybe he changed. But growth isn't a caption. It's a quiet apology you live, not post. That afternoon, May texted. "He's serious this time, Lila. He says he's been in therapy." I typed, deleted, retyped. "Tell him I'm glad he's getting help. That's for him, not for me." Still, that night, the knock came anyway. I opened the door to find Ryan standing there, raincoat dripping, flowers in hand. The same roses he used to bring when he wanted to skip accountability. "Can I come in?" he asked, voice low. I stepped aside, but didn't move far. He walked in like someone revisiting an old dream that turned out to be real. His eyes scanned the apartment, the reorganized furniture, the soft lamplight, the absence of him. "You redecorated," he said. I reclaimed. He flinched, then nodded. "I saw your post the day after I left," he said. "The one about peace. Everyone was quoting it. It made me realize what I lost." I leaned against the counter. "You didn't lose me because of a caption, Ryan. You lost me because the caption told the truth." "I know." His voice cracked. "I thought I was being funny. I didn't realize how small I made you feel." "You didn't make me small," I said softly. "You just made yourself smaller." He took a deep breath, stepping closer. "I've changed. I stopped drinking, got a new job, started therapy. I see it now. How cruel I was, trying to be clever." "That's good," I said, and meant it. "But I didn't wait for you to see it." He stared at me, jaw trembling. "I miss you, Lila, every day. I'd do anything to fix this." I reached under the counter, opened a drawer, and pulled out a small black box. Inside lay his wristwatch, the one I'd found cracked in the envelope. I'd had it repaired weeks ago, not for him, but because broken things shouldn't stay that way forever. I handed it to him. He looked at it, then at me. "You fixed it?" I smiled faintly. "Yes. You left it behind. I figured it deserved another chance at telling time." He swallowed hard. "Does that mean we have another chance?" I shook my head. "No, it means closure doesn't have to be cruel." His lips parted, but I continued, quiet and even. "Every time you check the time, you'll remember this moment. The second you realize love isn't something you can caption." He blinked fast, then nodded, jaw tightening, like a man forcing himself not to break. "You really moved on." "I really grew up." He set the flowers on the counter. "Then I guess this is goodbye." It already was. When he left, he didn't look back. The hallway light flickered once before dimming, the sound of his footsteps fading into the elevator's hum. I closed the door and leaned against it, exhaling the kind of breath that only comes after finality. Outside, the city was still wet. The candle flickered again. Same rosemary scent, same glow, but now it smelled like release instead of waiting. Later, I stepped onto the balcony. Below me, the street pulsed with life. People laughing, headlights cutting through rain, everything moving forward. My phone buzzed. A new comment on my old post. "Peace looks good on you." I didn't know who wrote it, but I smiled. I set the phone face down and watched the city instead. Voiceover, soft, steady. People think betrayal is loud, shouting, slamming doors, broken glass. But the real kind is quiet. It sounds like laughter you mistook for love, and the silence after you stop explaining yourself. I turned back inside, closing the curtains, leaving the world outside where it belonged. He wanted followers. I wanted peace. Guess we both got what we asked for. The light dimmed, the apartment glowed, and the story, finally, rested.